Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Rozy.
And I'm Shorty.
And this is Skate Sunday. Thanks for joining us.
Hi.
Before we get into the episode, we got a few announcements, Make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe. We have a Patreon. Get on there, You could donate what you want.
Patron. Hey, hop on our Instagram. Check out our clips. Share them.
Yeah.
Post a little story.
If you're watching Skate Sunday or listening, tag us. We want to see you enjoying the show.
Yes. What are you doing while you're watching or listening?
Are you cleaning? Are you, cooking?
I want to see you cleaning them bearings is what I want to see.
Exactly. I know they're crusty. I want to see
you washing your gear is what I want to see. Them knee pads.
When you standing next to someone.
And when I say that, I'm talking to myself.
You ever stand next to someone and you smell their knee pads?
I know she's talking to me right now.
No. A huge thank you to our sponsors, Derby Warehouse. We're an affiliate. Use our affiliate link in the bio or down in the description below for all your roller skate needs. They have skates, protective gear, apparel, and so much more. I've even seen that they have Heelys and Epic Grind shoes, so what are you waiting for? Head over to Derby Warehouse using our affiliate link and get everything you need to make your roller dreams come true. And if you prefer inlines or ice skates, we also have affiliate links to Inline Warehouse and Ice Warehouse. So check out our links below, and thank you, Derby Warehouse. Welcome to Skate Sunday, everyone. We have a great episode for you today. Today is the Derby episode.
It's the Derby episode.
This is going to be a two-parter.
It's a two-parter.
There's no way that you can explain roller derby in an hour podcast. There's so many rules.
There's so much to know, and I don't think I will ever know it all. I don't think anyone will ever know it all, and it's also something that's constantly evolving. And so I just wanted a little rundown as far as at least what my derby experience has been with Dub City.
Yeah, Dub City's the team that we're on because I joined roller derby. Okay. And I'm so excited to be on a team with you,
I'm so excited too. I know it was not easy for you to make the decision to join roller derby. And, that's totally understandable. It's not the most welcoming, marketed to sport for people of color. And I've definitely had my weird experiences and interactions with the derby community. So I'm just grateful that, you trust me enough to be on my team,
Yeah.
And make sure you just know that I'm gonna never let anything happen to my fucking daughter. I dare you. Let somebody say one.
Let you fucking try my fucking friend. You say something to my friend. What the fuck you said to my friend?
Excuse me.
You want to try that shit again? Tell us a little bit about your derby experience.
So yeah, I kind of have a short derby career because it started when COVID was happening. So I played 2 games, and my first game was the best day ever, and I got MVP Jammer, and I was so hyped about that. And I just learned so much through this sport, and it's literally how I learned how to roller skate back in 2015. So I owe literally everything I know as far as skating safely, learning how to fall, knowing what good gear to buy, things like that, all through derby. There were ups and downs, some weird experiences throughout it, but I'm excited for where it's going now. I'm happy to be more involved in it. When I was Team B captain with my derby wife, Cece, shout out. And, we were just kind of hosting fundraisers and things like that. But we were just kind of treated like the new guys, and I don't really feel that way anymore. I don't know, I'm rambling.
No, you're not. You're saying all concrete things. Who says that to you? I'm excited. I'm at least excited.
I'm so proud of
you. We posted that clip on our Instagram of you pushing, and we was pushing each other.
So good.
Yeah, so I'm excited to learn more and to feel because I do you've seen like I do feel a lot more stable in my skates now. Like I know how to stand and there's just some basics that I guess get glossed over when you just kind of learn from tutorials on online. Not saying that's you know the worst, like use what you have. Like if you want to learn, like just use all the resources to you, but I definitely learned a lot of I guess you could call them beginner things, but a lot of safety things that seem minor but are like huge. And you saw our first practice, like we weren't doing much, but I was dying. Like I was like,
Yeah, I mean, a plow stop is really hard.
yeah,
Like to successfully do a plow stop takes a lot of strength, and a lot of that comes from muscles that like most people aren't used to using unless they're used to skating really, really low.
yeah,
And it's crazy how like, I've gotten okay at plow stops, but I still have a hard time with them just because it's not something I'm constantly working on. And I really like derby because it forces you to drill skills that help you everywhere else. But you're killing it. Like it's been such a joy to watch you.
I know. Every time I look over, you're just like the auntie that's like, look at my baby, look at my baby go. So, it's exciting, and we speaking of like don't we have like an amazing guest like coming on soon too?
We do have an amazing guest. She's kind of like the dub mother.
Mother. We have
But,
Doc.
yes.
Doc's coming on, and Doc is a part of Dub City Roller Derby, right?
Doc has been involved in derby for a decade now and has been involved in Dub City for so long. So I've been really inspired by Doc and always loved working with her on skates, and she's always made me feel so good and welcome. And so I just thought that was the best person to kind of like hold our hands and figure out, what is derby.
Yeah. So we're gonna let her in. So welcome, Doc. Welcome to Skate Sunday.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, at your pronouns and your handle.
Absolutely. So in roller derby, I go by Doc. My roller derby name is actually Dr. Ruthless, and I go by she, her pronouns. Our handle with Dub City Roller Derby is actually at Dub City Derby.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So for people who don't know what roller derby is, and we always get this question when we're out doing fundraisers and dressed up, they're like, so what is roller derby? So what is roller derby?
Right, that classic question of, oh, I've seen that movie, or is
Yeah.
it like it is in the 80s? It's changed quite a bit over the years. Roller derby for us is now played on a flat track. We don't play on a bank track. A lot of people have misconceptions about it being kind of throwing elbows and a lot of cursing. Things have changed. It's actually regulated and there's rules, and it's quite a competitive sport. Derby is played in 2-minute jams. Okay, it consists of a jammer and 4 blockers on the track at one time. One of those blockers, however, wears a helmet cover called a pivot. So they are actually the only person on the track that can take the jammer panty from the jammer. So they can consist of both being a blocker and being help for the jammer. But the goal is for the jammer to get past, like there's no balls. A lot of misconception is where's the ball? Where's the goal?
I tell
But the
people
goal-
I'm the ball.
Yeah.
Why do they say that? Was there a ball at one point?
No, there was never a ball, but I think everybody's like, okay, if there's a game, there has to be a stick, there has to be a goal, there has to be a ball or a puck or something. But people don't realize that it's actually us. It's our bodies. It's our hips. So as a jammer, our goal is to get past those blockers. As many blockers as we can possibly pass is 1 point for each hip that we pass. So that's the ultimate goal, is to, of course, score as many points as possible. But a blocker's goal is to prevent that jammer from actually getting through and scoring any points. So that's where the offense and defense is often played at the same time, to prevent that scoring from happening. It can be very exciting playing the game. It can be very confusing at first, but once you grasp it and get an understanding of it, it's a lot of fun.
It definitely is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
My like short term way of explaining it is it's like human chess, but like we're bumping into each other and it's in a circle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of all of us shifting positions to get to a goal. And that's like, it's kind of like has this whole other puzzle piece of trying to navigate people that like it's almost like driving down 95 with 5 lanes. Like you got to figure out how to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Definitely. That's a great way of putting it, right? And there's so many rules in the same time, like, for example, like you can't go backwards, like you can't skate, you can't just all of a sudden decide to go backwards. The game always has to be in forward momentum. So there's a lot of components that go into it. It's kind of scrambling at first, your brain's like, what am I doing? What is going on? But it is a lot of fun.
Now, it's interesting that you said that the team got all mixed up during COVID. So what was Dub City during COVID? I know that I mean, I'm new to Derby, but
Yes.
I know that COVID definitely hit hard with roller derby teams. So
Yeah.
what was it like for Dub City roller derby during COVID?
COVID disrupted all of Derby, and every country with it is played in many, many places around the globe. And it shut us down. We weren't able, and we were at the time we were playing in the Boys and Girls Club. So we had the component of not only being around children, so we couldn't go into schools because that was our main place of practice, but we couldn't get together as a league because there was strict COVID. There was a lot of restrictions put in place by our sanctioning body. And that was to protect us. I mean, we had to understand that, right? So it pretty much dispersed. A lot of teams didn't play, I would say, for a good year. And and then when we did start getting together, it was kind of under the radar, outdoors, doing like rec league stuff, or kind of like just getting together and skating. And that's when that whole kind of boom of the skate parks started happening. Roller skating in general, everything got taken outside. People were trail skating and buying skates because we couldn't get together as COVID. So that's where everybody started meeting. It was at the skate park. So Dub City really didn't exist. It was quite a sad time for us.
Yeah, it was really hard. And it was almost like right before it all kind of happened. There was so many exciting things that we had going on. We had so many games ready. And, I was just starting with Derby and starting to feel really confident playing. And it just kind of ended right when I got to the point where I was like, wow, I'm playing with the big guys. Cool. So it was very sad, but it's been really great to get back into it. And even though it's not exactly where we were before, having all of these new pandemic skaters come by and, seeing all these awesome new faces, and they're so excited to learn Derby. Like, I think it's gonna get back there. Definitely.
I think so too.
And
I think
hopes.
Me too. And I was so proud of you at that time. Shorty, you were just coming up, but you were hanging with the big dogs. I mean, you were playing with us and getting through and taking hits like a champ and popping right back up. And it was just so amazing to watch. And I remember, because I'm our games coordinator, so I coordinate all of our games for Dub City. And I took a lot of pride in putting together an amazing B team schedule at that time. We had so many, and our charter was actually getting ready to go to Canada.
Yeah.
So we were really a strong force in Derby. And to watch that kind of struggle to get back up and running has been extremely difficult. So I'm really excited to see like Shorty coming around with all of her skills coming from the skate park again and all these new skaters. I just think we're gonna have a dynamic team.
I
Yeah, once we
agree.
get up and go. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited.
And like coming from like a pandemic skater point of view, you know, me being one, it's
Yes.
exciting to I just feel like I never realized there was even a team in my city, like had no idea it existed, like, and so I'm glad that skating came into my life because now I know about this little underground world, and apparently y'all have been doing it for a while now too. So
Yeah. I hit in 2012, I hit 10 years. I hit my decade for Derby.
Wow.
And yeah,
and
that
that
was
was all
really
here in
exciting.
Florida?
That was all here in Florida. I actually started with Gold Coast Roller Derby or Gold Coast Derby Girls down in Fort Lauderdale, and I used to travel back and forth. And that was an exciting time too, because I helped facilitate a very large international roller derby tournament that we did called Beach Brawl for 2014, 15, and 16. So that's when everything was just kind of coming up and going from that um, drinking beer and smoking on the bench to actually competitive derby where we were taking things seriously. You know, we used to like halftime, it was, you know, you would crack a beer and maybe throw a punch, but then we just started getting really serious about it. And it was a really exciting time in Derby. So moved over to Dub City in 2017 and just really watch that team blossom. And the one thing about Derby, there's always something that happens, but we always fight through it, whether it be to lose a skating rink or lose a place to, you know, it just, we always persevere.
I love
It's
that
good
too.
times.
I learned a lot about organizing these types of events by working with Dub City, even if it was just the fundraisers and things like that. You know, that was long before pandemic, like big skate meetups that are happening now. Like that was the only time I ever saw like multiple skaters in one place at once. So it was an awesome learning experience to me, and I've definitely taken that on with like other skate groups now.
It's exciting. I would love to get something together to where we can, you know, kind of all come together as a large group. And Derby has always just kind of been an underground and skating wasn't so popular. And then when COVID hit, it became very popular again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to kind of find all these little COVID skaters and introduce them to Derby for
Yeah, so if
sure.
you're in the area, you better start showing up to these
Yeah.
practices because
Yeah.
we are having fun.
And
Yes.
speaking of like, you know, bringing them all in, raking them all in, how how is Dub City, in your opinion, making it more inclusive and trying to entice these new skaters to come to practice? Like, how do you navigate that?
I think, you know, one thing about Derby over the years that I've learned, getting a large group together, especially strong-willed, there can always be kind of a little bit of strife. As being you know, I'm a therapist myself, and the one thing that I never do is tell my clients that I have a safe space when they come to my office. And I think Derby is the same. It's not my job to tell you this is a safe place. It's my job to show you and just
Mhm.
being welcoming, smiling, being non-judgmental. I think that is really important, you know, and for other people that come visit us to find out for themselves what a great place it can be.
Yeah, I mean, saying hello goes a long way.
Hmm.
And
Right?
like you are
Right?
definitely one of the few, unfortunately, at the time that I
Yeah.
joined that like really came and made an effort to say hello. My name is Doc. Who are you? Welcome. Like we're so glad
Yeah.
you're here. And like that just is all I really needed because it was already scary walking in that situation. And it's also a group of bunch of white bitches. Like honestly.
Right?
So it's it's
Right?
it's a weird scenario to begin with. So that just like welcoming feeling. And now I've taken that. And when I see new people at practices, I make sure I do the same because I know what difference that makes.
Absolutely. It is so important to have genuine positive regard for other humans. I mean, I live my life with that, right? I live my life knowing that integrity is important, being welcoming is important, you know, having a small footprint. mental health for me is a big deal. And Derby is a great place for self-care to present itself, right? Not only do you get to hit a bitch and smile and be like, yeah, get up, let's do this again. It feels good. It definitely feels good. Especially after 2 hours of exercise that doesn't feel like exercise. It's actually a good time.
Yeah. And when we are really working, that's like 2 hours flies by. But it's
Lives.
really important for me to see that everyone does feel welcome. And, it's a very expensive hobby. So when
Yes.
I noticed that we bought brand new merch for people that need knee pads and things like that are also going to bring people in that would never try it before. So there's just like that it's the least we can do at this point. And I'm
Right.
sure there's a lot more we can do, but it's a start. And I'm glad that like I'm able to comfortably have this conversation with you and the rest of the board too. Because I think it will go a long way in making new people come and stay.
I'm so happy you said that. Something so little as being able to provide somebody with a knee pad, right? I would love to see us be able to get a couple pair of skates. Like
Yeah.
I would love to do fundraisers. And it's really hard being a few of us getting this back up and rolling again, right? It's a lot of volunteer work. But I think the more people that we can bring on board and find ways to give back, by buying skates and giving these opportunities. Because really, we're not taking money right now. Like, this is free. Come try this, right? The least we can do is make sure that you don't, bust up a knee or an elbow.
Right.
But but I mean, eventually, we are going to have to start charging small increment, like $20 dues and stuff. And when it comes to that point, I want it to be worth that $20 you're going to spend that month. I don't want you to come to practice and be like, oh, look at all these shitty people that don't smile at me. No, it has to be a good time. You
Yeah.
know, it's important.
Like, just from being at practice, like, I've seen how maybe there were some old ways of thinking and things like that, but y'all are making the conscious effort to be different and be the change. And like, I know we've thrown around like it's a big group of women, but there's also like non-binary people on the team and things like that.
Absolutely.
So it's like, and y'all
Great
try
point.
to, yeah, and y'all try to like, even in the wording, like, come on, ladies, or you'll be like, oh, everyone, like, you just try to like make it more inclusive, because it's not just ladies, but
No, and that's a great point.
yeah.
I'm so happy you brought that up. The LGBTQ plus advocacy is extremely important to us. And that's not my plate. That's not my job, or it's not necessarily not my job. I don't feel comfortable telling people it's a safe space. I want to prove that to you. You know what I mean? Like, come join us. I'll tell you, yes, like, everybody is welcome. And then when you feel comfortable, then you stay. That's important.
Definitely.
We
How
can
many
see
team
love
members do you
heals.
usually have?
On average, we always kept about 30.
Oh my God. 30? That's a lot of
Yes.
people. That's a lot of
Yeah.
We
people.
had an A and a charter team and a B team. So we had two teams also. And some of those players would kind of play both teams. But yeah, when we were popping, we were popping.
Oh, it was, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a hard change.
No, that's awesome though. And I'm so excited to really like be immersed in it and get to see it. And I just see how much, like, even after a few practice, how many people have improved, and like how
Mhm.
people have level up, and just the way that it is very much a team, team building type
Well,
of
you've
thing.
been doing great too. And it's like been crazy how much
Yes.
it's showing up like at the skate park when she is straight up standing derby style. And like it's so crazy to see how much more comfortable she is, getting lower and staying low.
For sure. I've been taking hits, not only from the ramp, but from people.
Yes, I love it. I
Me and
love it. I
Short.
can't wait to
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was going to say, I can't wait to lay a track. We need to lay a track. We really need to start getting going. And I really want to start doing scrimmages so you guys can be immersed in it. And maybe you're not comfortable playing the scrimmages right away, because we'll invite teams from all over Florida so you can see a game, but teach you how to NSO. We all started by learning how to officiate. And that's something you guys are going to have to learn too.
I really, really enjoyed officiating when I first started because that was how I actually learned what the game is, because it forces you to pay attention to it. And you're just like close up in it too. And I don't know, it's nice to watch it off skates and not in the middle of it sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not as anxiety driven. It's a way to sit back and go, oh, this is what this is about. And you look around and you're like, oh.
And all these skaters that are like, I don't want to get hit. Well, you can ref and come help because we need you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's other ways to, and we've had people on that are a part of Derby, but they don't play per se. They're just kind of like a part of it and whatnot. And that's great that there's still, it's not just like, if you don't play, like, I like that it's still like, you ain't got to play. You don't even have to skate. You could just come and, hang out. And that's really awesome. So now that we talked about the good, now tell us the tea. Give us the drama. Tell us give us some drama.
Oh, geez. What time is it? It's my bedtime.
A big thank you to Tutia Skates for sponsoring this episode. Tutia Skates is a Black and Indigenous owned small brand based out of Virginia. They are a sister-owned company that prides itself on their unique products. They design custom clothing and accessories for the skate community and beyond. Go to tutiaskate.com to shop, and while you're there, make sure you grab your ticket for the skate camp. It's called the East Coast Scramble. It's happening in October, so hopefully I'll see you there. Thank you, Tutias. Now back to the show.
You kept an old lady up.
Listen. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like there's always some drama, some tea. Like, what's something you got? Actually, it doesn't have to be specific. Like, why is there drama?
Yeah.
Because we're competitive. That at the end of the day, we're playing a sport that is extremely competitive. And we all want to win. We all want to be on top. We're all very strong-minded, strong-willed humans. And that is going, regardless, it's going to have strife. And I think drama starts fostering in these groups, like if there's not rules in place and we stop realizing that it is the new skaters and it is the B team and the volunteers. It has to take everybody. And when you start ignoring that group of people and you only focus on the competitive aspect of it, you lose everything. That's the drama of it. And our goal with the new Dub City is that we all come together and come up together always. You know what I mean? Like my goal is maybe if skaters aren't ready to play chartered games yet, because there's a charter, that's our competitive team. I would love to have everybody come to those games. Let's all get in our cars and go up to North Carolina and be there for each other, not just a few group of people. And I know Shorty felt some of that too over the years.
Yeah, it definitely was a vibe change coming back because it was just, you can tell when there's animosity and you can tell when things aren't functioning in a way that is like, helpful for everybody. And, then the newer people get ignored and they don't feel like they're progressing and they don't want to come back. And, most of the people when I was newer that didn't want to come back just felt like they weren't going anywhere because they weren't getting the attention. And things are so different now because we're all working together all the time. We're not separating across the track. We're not, saying I'm not partnering with this person because they're new. Like, there's none of that. And look how good they're getting so fast because they're able to work with people that know a lot. And then they can play off each other as they get better. So like eventually we'll all get there and it's clearly happening. I mean, it's only been since January really that a lot of these people even started skating, just skating. And now
Yeah.
we're doing light contact and they're doing endurance and they're enjoying it and noticing their progress. And you can see it on their faces. It makes a big difference. And I'm glad it's gone. I don't like that. It's out the window. And that's why I'm like, I
It
want to be on the
is.
board too, because I want to like
Let's
yell
go.
at people when this happens if it has to happen. But it's just, I like the no tolerance for that
Mhm.
dynamic now, and it's noticeable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can definitely say from being there, like, y'all be like, you didn't do it with her. You gotta skate with this or them, this person, that person. No,
Yeah.
no. Mix it up until you skated with every single person here. Like, we're gonna keep going, and that's
Yeah.
encouraging because it, like you said, somebody said one. I don't know. I think it might have been Diva. I'm not sure, but she was like, you can't just get comfortable skating with one person. Like, what if that person in a game, is absent or isn't there or what gets injured, whatever it is, like,
Yeah.
then that's great that you're really good, you're strong blocking with Shorty, but if Shorty's not there, like, what does it really mean? So it's great that there's just so many aspects that build.
So many aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to the box and the whistle blows, you're coming out in that next jam with a new line. So you need to know how to skate with every skater on your team. And I think the idea that everybody on the team has a value set, regardless of their capability on skates, we're all a team. And if we don't come up together, we're not going to be successful at all. I mean, that's very important to me. And soon we're going to be back indoors. Really exciting things are happening for Dub City, right? We're going to have a home again. And so that in itself is something that, I mean, I know we're going to have a lot of skaters. So if we don't get our shit straight now and get some rules and some structure and some policies in place that don't leave people behind, we're just going to end up in the same place.
Yeah.
So I'm
Leave
very
it at the
excited.
door because we have a door now.
We have a door. It's not of the revolving type.
And
It
speaking
does.
of, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're good. You're good.
What are some like rules?
On the track rules,
Yes, I'm
don't
just
be a
on.
dick. How about that?
That's a good one.
Don't
Oh,
be
hold
a,
on.
seriously though, like, you'll get involved with games and good sportsmanship is really important. But like, for safety aspect, we don't throw elbows. You're not going to get punched in the face or it's not like you see on, Whip It, the movie, because you're going to find Rosie when you start telling people I play derby and they're like, oh, I've seen Whip It. That's how it every time. There's a lot there's only certain places that we can have contact. Like you can't just come up and nail somebody in the middle of the back. You're going to be ejected from the game. Like there is safety components to, our rules. Tell her about a cut track, Shorty. What was it like to learn it?
I think I sat in the penalty box for like my entire game because of my last entire game because of a cut track. So basically, as we said before, roller derby is in motion and continues around the track. So if the jammer gets out of bounds, you have to go around the entire pack, which is both teams skating around. You have to go all the way behind everybody and join again. You can't just get back in anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So my just reaction, like, get back in there and help. I just kept cutting and ending up getting penalties for it. And it's just a silly mistake, but that's like a major rule because you do gotta kind of start over and go through everybody again.
So it's kind of like too, like if I come up and I'm a blocker and I hit Shorty out of bounds, I have to stay in bounds with the track. So she can't cut in front of me. She can't cut in front of any of the players that she was hit out of bounds. So she has to go back in the inside of the track and come in and not like being at Target. You can't just come up and like take your cart and like, nail somebody out of the checkout line and be like, no, you got to wait your turn, so she has to come back in and refight her way through that pack again. So that's the whole thing. Like her initial, after the whistle, she has to literally fight through that first pack of blockers. and go all the way around, do a lap, and points don't start until she starts coming back through that pack the second time.
I
So
think
it's a struggle.
I feel like where I'm confused is like, okay, is it okay? Okay? So there's two teams though, right? On the
Yes.
track? Okay.
Yes.
So are there there's two jammers?
Yes. And
Okay.
8 blockers,
And
4
then
from
like
each team.
y'all switch off between like offense and defense or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Office.
is one team is facing like one way and then the and the other team is facing the other way?
No, we're all going
No.
the
We're
same
all
way.
yeah, you said we're all going. So how the fuck how you on black wait.
The jammers start behind the 2 packs of blockers. There's a line behind everybody.
Mhm.
And the 2 jammers are kind of like nudging each other until
Yeah.
the whistle blows. And then the whistle blows, and we're just kind of smashing in between all the blockers until one of the jammers breaks free.
Right.
And then when that first jammer comes back around, they start scoring points based on how many people they pass.
And okay. So the are the two walls like this, like sandwiched, or are they spread out?
They're
Wherever we want to be.
They may be spread, but they have to be close enough together to keep a pack together. They can't separate like one on this side of the track, one on the other side. We're all a choo-choo train of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see your jammer, you let them by, obviously.
Yeah, you do what you can to help your jammer get by. So if you see a blocker in my way, get them.
Get them, Rozy.
Is that a threat? Is that a
Yeah.
threat? Get them, Rozy.
No, that's not a threat. That's a demand.
That's a
That's your
demand.
job. That's
That's
your
my
job.
Do your job.
Do your job. So that's what I mean by offense and defense, right? So if there's 8 blockers on the track, right? And there's 4 from one team and 4 from the other, and then 2 jammers. You know, they're each trying to get through the pack, and we're each trying to stop the jammer from getting through. So that's where that offense and defense come in, because I'm going to help my jammer through, but I'm also going to defend that spot not to let the other team's jammer through.
Mhm.
And so what happens is when the first jammer actually gets through that pack, they become lead jammer, and they get a whistle, and they actually control the gameplay for the entirety of the 2 minutes, because each jam is 2 minutes. So, but if Shorty gets through that pack and she becomes lead jammer and she comes around and we're still holding the opposite team's jammer and they're not through, Shorty's going to go around that track and come through and bust through that pack, right? And then she's getting 4 points at this point, right? Because you're getting through all of them. And she gets through again. And then say we lose the other team's jammer, and the other team jammer starts chasing Shorty. Shorty can call off the jam and stop them from getting any points. So she was in control because she got out first. So it's strategy. There's a lot of strategy involved. And it's fast. Yeah, it's very fast.
There's different reasons to call off the jam.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, sometimes depending on where the time is left on the clock, it could be depending on is your jammer gassed? It could be that you want to prevent them from getting points. What if Shorty's out and there's only a couple seconds left on the clock and the other jammer's in the box? You can lock them in the box for the next jam to start, and they have to start gassed out of the box. And we get to put a fresh jammer on the track while they have to come out of the penalty box, gassed, tired. And that just gives us more strategy to continue to score. So yeah, there's so much involved.
Yeah, it sounds like no one can truly cover like the rules and the concept of derby. It's really one of those
always changing.
Yeah, it's really one of those games or sports you have to like watch and like be a part of to kind of like really get it, you know.
And that's why when Shorty was saying she learned so much being an NSO, which is a non-skating official, they keep score, they keep penalty, they do all kinds of stuff on the track. They're very valuable to our game. All the officials are, and they're just amazing. but that's where you learn the rules. And I'm 10 years later, we don't remember it all. I mean, and that's why you stumped me in the beginning, because I was like, wait a minute, I haven't played because of COVID. And I was like, what is this game we're talking about? Dearly missed. Yes, what is it?
Do you have like a favorite derby moment, like from a game?
Yes. I think there's a few of us that have the same feeling. We had an opportunity to play a team in 2018, and it was Columbia Quad Squad, and we had to make this decision within like, I think it was like maybe a little over a month, because you have to set your charter within 30 days. But we had an opportunity to get in the car and go play a game. We all loaded up. And this game actually got us into the playoffs, got us into cups, which was like a really big deal. And we won this game, and it was a struggle. And I'll just never forget taking a picture at the end, knowing that we all had to like make sacrifices to get to this game. We did it, we won it, and we ended up going to cups, which was huge. That was a super good time. And one of the best things about Derby is when we travel, and it's why I would love everybody to go, because we usually just find a really big house to rent and the whole team stays together. That's super awesome. Fun times. It really is. It really is. There's a lot of love amongst a lot of people. So it's really sad when people do fight, and bring their bullshit to the table.
It comes with any group of people. It's always gonna be there.
That's so true.
Yes, you could be managing a cotton candy stand, and I bet there's drama. Like, I bet there's drama. Like, did you see the way she spun the sugar?
They never clean the machine, right? I'm telling you.
I swear to God, crystals all left inside.
Doesn't wash her hands. What is she
wearing?
I wanted
to ask you, what is your favorite unhinged Dub City merch? Because I remember when the bells dropped, every game we were just doomed with these like cowbells going off all the games.
Unhinged. Yes, those stupid air blow up things. Like they're two sticks that they blow up, and then they just start smacking them together.
Like from the World Cup.
The noisemakers.
Yes.
The noisemakers. Yeah.
It's atrocious.
Yeah, no more noisemakers. We're leaving that behind for sure.
So air horns only. Got it.
Right? Oh gosh. Well, or a onesie. Everybody has to come in a onesie. That's like a big thing.
What's with the tutu thing?
That's old.
Are we still doing tutus or not?
Or belts. You guys weren't around for the belts? Okay, everybody had studded belts.
Oh my God.
And we would grab them. We would grab the belt, and we would like whip off of people's belts with tutus on. Yeah, I haven't seen a tutu since like 2010. I mean, if you guys want to attempt to bring them back, I'm all for it. We could do a tutu scrimmage.
Well, we could keep you here all night, but we're going to let you go, and we're going to give you a big thank you. And I know there's so much more for us to learn about Derby, and we're going to continue this discussion, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. And I have an idea of what we're going to do for practice next time. I think we need to do a little mock start for you guys.
Yes, I agree.
Right? Yeah. All right. I got nothing but love for you guys. Thank you so much for allowing me in your space. This was awesome.
I just adore Doc. Like, so cute.
I know. She's a really nice energy to have around you when you're learning new things, because she has a very maternal aspect about her, and, you know, she knows a lot. Like, she's been playing Derby for 10 years, but Doc has been skating since she's like a baby. Like, she's like a beautiful art skater, like has so many skills when it comes to skating. So like, I just listen to everything Doc says.
You know, I just know Doc from the practices, and I can say just always there to like assist and help and encourage, which is so needed, because sometimes you're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
And you know, it's awesome to have someone like her around. And we just found out that she's a therapist. Like, what?
Like, oh my God, Doc, that makes sense.
Doc, literally. So tell us, if you're on a derby team, are you on a team? What do you play? And, are you excited to get into the games? Are you playing games,
And if you want to learn more about Dub City, follow Dub City Derby at Instagram. Or if you have Facebook, we also have a team page on there. Just DM the page and you can be added to the private page if you want to join our practices and things like that. We have plenty of information there.
Yep. And again, thank you for watching and listening. I'm Rozy. You can find me at Rolling with Rozy.
And I'm Shorty. You can find me at Hey Shorty with 3 Y's and 2 underscores.
And you can find us at Skate Sunday. Thanks for listening and watching.
Bye.